Jamaican hibiscus, roselle, or a Jamaican sorrel. So these are really popular in the Jamaican islands. The flower is beautiful and is a great pollinator, but the part that people really go bonkers over is this. This is called a calyx. It's the used flower head. So the flower came out, right here. And this seed head here, you peel off the outsides of the calyx. And this you can use either fresh or dried, and you can dry it and it'll stay for a couple years. And you boil this in water and it tastes like cranberry lemonade tea. And so very high in vitamin C. Now in the Jamaican islands, they'll actually take these, put them in water, make the hot tea. They'll add in cloves, allspice, and cinnamon. So it's this nice cranberry spiced hot tea in the islands. Add in a little bit of honey to them. So you don't really eat them fresh, but if you want to take the seed head, dry that seed head out, and then you can make some, you can grow some of your own. Here's a couple more calyxes that you can take home with you.
Thank you.
And you can do them fresh or dried.
So you don't eat this, you say, right?
No, you don't actually eat any of it. Just dry this out, and the seeds are inside, so you can propagate your own.
And then I'm gonna make a lemonade with these calyxes. Jaboticaba. This is what I came for. This tree and this fruit, and there happen to be only 3 ripe fruits left that Chris found us. So he's amazing, and so is the universe. Let's try it.
Fire in the hole! This thing is so good. The skin, it's really sweet. It's not too sweet though. They're not really sweet. But the skin is a little bit bitter, right? You start chewing down on that skin.
High tannins.
High tannins. You can taste that. The fruit is delicious. Oh, peppery. I just taste pepper. That just took me on a little journey. I ate it. It felt like fruit, and it finished off like pepper. Get these jaboticaba in your yard.
So this one is called comfrey. This has been used all over the world since the Greco-Roman eras. So comfrey was actually used by Hippocrates. It was used in the Greco-Roman era in the Colosseums. So when it was used in the Colosseums, it was called bone knit or bone heal. And what they would do is take these leaves, put them in a pestle and mortar, and they would crush them up to make a poultice and put it on wounds. So sprains, sore ligaments, sore joints, arthritis, fibromyalgia. So this is not something that you would ingest. It's only used topically on the skin. And so you just crush it up in the pestle and mortar, put it on a wound. And there's studies now, I believe it was University of Maryland at Baltimore, Harvard U'd has a study that about 14% of muscular wounds heal faster, or they heal 14 times faster because of using comfrey. So it has been used for a millennia, but we are using it still in modern medicine. But you don't want to ingest it, though.
I heard cows can eat. Do they eat comfrey or no?
Love comfrey. Comfrey has about a 4-foot taproot to it, so it's getting minerals that are really deep down in the ground. I use it in my food forest, and the flowers are pretty. When they're in the sun, they get pink and purple on the flowers.
Very pretty.
I use it in the food forest with a method that's called chop and drop. So basically what it's doing is it's mineral mining for me. So every couple months, like about this height, I'll chop it down at the ground and drop it around my fruit trees, because now that nutrients that it brought up is now bioavailable for my trees to take in. So I chop and drop mine all the time. But in the livestock world, for cattle, for goats, and for chickens, this is a replacement of mineral blocks. So instead of doing chemical mineral blocks for your horses, for your cows, for your chickens, no more calcium supplementing for your chickens, they can get all of the calcium, manganese, magnesium, vitamin E, and selenium that you can get from this.
Because I had a farm once upon a time, and I had milking cows, and I had chickens.
Oh, good.
And given that I'm so into all of the edible plants, and I was trying to have a symbiotic farm that have you ever heard of Joel Saladin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I visited his farm a couple years ago, and so kind of the way I was doing my farm, same thing, following, and it all kind of working together to make a better, situation for you. So you don't have to fight bugs and all, because the chickens come behind, they eat the bugs, but the comfrey was one of the things that exactly what we were going to do it for. We were going to put it out all along the perimeter because it's so good, and then chop and drop, but also for the cattle. I mean, it's just it's amazing vitamins for your cows and your other animals.
Especially the ones with the rumens and the crops. Helps keeps the crop clear. Really yummy. This area here all the way back are a lot of our gingers and turmerics. Ginger and turmeric are actually in the same scientific family. It's kind of like every rectangle or every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square.
Okay, yeah.
So ginger is the big category, and turmeric is just one type of a ginger.
Okay.
So if it's a turmeric, it's actually a ginger.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
These ones here are various types of ginger and turmerics. Many of them you can use the leaves as well as the roots, though the roots are going to be the most, you know, desired and sought after. Some of my favorites, black turmeric is probably the highest in the anti-inflammatory properties.
I gotta get one of those.
Medicinal uses.
Yeah.
There's a great Florida company called Tierra Botanicals,
Okay.
and they actually use our black ginger to make a black turmeric tincture.
Wow.
And it's the only one that I've ever seen, even on the internet. So really great for people that have cancer, have types of lymphoma, bone and blood issues, digestive problems. Black turmeric is one of the most highly sought after medicinals, but it's very, very rare.
Wow.
So Tierra Botanicals, Tomas is the one that runs that company, does a great tincture out of those. The flowers of black turmeric are like hot pink. I think we have a couple of them back there that are really pretty.
Fun.
We have green gingers that are great medicinal uses, some mango gingers that actually taste like mango, really good with like basmati rice and chicken. So that's a
Yummy,
win.
yum.
Topi Tambo, galangal. I mean, there's so many types of ginger and turmeric. The list just goes on and on.
That's amazing. You did teach me that. I did not know that but it makes sense they're in the same family, the turmeric and the ginger.
Yeah.
But it is quite a vast difference between the turmeric's bulb being so colorful, so vibrant, and stain. You know, it was a dye back in thousands of years ago that used turmeric to dye their faces or whatever use it for coloring. So it is it's interesting fact. Fun fact.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous. And in Florida, they grow really well. People always ask, like, what can I grow under my dumb oak trees? Because everything seems to die. But ginger and turmeric, katuk, the coffee tree, wild coffee, there's so many things that are edible and medicinal that you can grow under the live oaks in Florida.
And I think that's precisely why we're here, is because those people don't know about all of those plants you just mentioned, because we're all at Home Depot, wherever we go, these big box stores, and in those stores are all those, everything is the same.
It's the same.
Same. And nothing is really, most of the stuff isn't native to your area. It's been brought in, and now you're going to buy this plant that you're going to just fight the grain the entire time you're trying to raise this food. When you could just make it a lot easier and get some native plants.
We had somebody that came in the other day and they were like, I got this peach tree from a box store and it's not producing peaches. Well, the peach tree species was actually one that they grow in like Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana. It wasn't a Florida peach, so it requires freezing and dormancy. They bought it here, but it's never going to produce because the box store doesn't care. They care about money, the dollar, moving those plants and moving those sales. But there's so many things in our area that are either native or indigenous to places that are like Florida that we can grow to feed ourselves, feed our family, heal our bodies and our spirit. And they're beautiful. I mean, that's just gorgeous,
And it's just, the list goes on, Chris. The fact that you can just go outside, you can take that fruit, you can eat it. We just sat and ate that plum, and it's the best plum we've ever had. And because we just picked it. So it's just a win all the way around.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yes.
The drumstick tree.
Heard of the moringa.
Ooh. I forgot that they have pods.
Kids in Africa use the pods when they're young and hard as a drumsticks. So in Africa, they sometimes will call it a drumstick tree. So when I was saying that every part of this tree is medicinal, edible, usable, the seeds are wrapped in this like papery substance here.
Wow.
So these are some of the seeds. And in Africa, what they'll do is to purify water, this will drop all of the sediment and bacteria in the water to the bottom. So if you take a handful of the seeds with this paper on the outside, drop it in a bucket of water, wait overnight, and the next morning all of the sediment and the bacteria settled to the bottom, and you scoop your cup of water off the top.
Wow.
So they use it for a water purification in a lot of African countries. So you can take that back and soak them for a day before you try and plant them. Germinate them. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Flowers for men's infertility issues.
Wow.
And so they'll go ahead and take one of the flowers and eat them. So they're like a cabbagey, not a lot of flavor.
This is going to fix my manly part.
That's right. And so you can actually take the flowers, when they're in bloom, there's like big clusters, and you can put the flowers in a pan and just saute them in oil, put in like bay leaf and maybe some cumin or curry flavoring, curry leaves, some coconut milk.
feel you.
This has a
Saute it up.
kick to it.
It's got a little
It's
bit
like
of a
edamame,
radishy
but
kick.
spicy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is, and does have a slight nutty flavor
That little
to
bit
it.
of a nutty, yep.
Chris, I was going to tell you when you were talking about it before, we did a mulberry picture on our show, and then we ended up making mulberry
fun.
jam.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most popular pictures.
Oh, yeah.
People were typing,
bonkers.
what is that? I didn't realize nobody knows what a mulberry is.
I know.
And furthermore, people were like, well, where can I buy them? Then I realized why nobody knows what they are. They're highly perishable.
Yeah.
Highly perishable.
Yeah.
So like the minute my guy was
can't ship
picking
them.
them, he was giving them to me.
Oh,
I'm putting
the
them in the
baby
fridge. They're
one.
molding in like 2-3 days. You gotta get them in a jam.
Gotta get them in a jam. Is from down there.
When will this is beautiful. I mean,
So
it's
there's one
literally
here
covered.
and there's one down there, and all of this is from 2 vines.
Wow.
And we cut these back to the ground every year.
And when will these be ready to eat?
Those will be ready in about a month, month and a half.
Yeah, they're very firm,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
they almost feel fake.
Yeah.
They feel
Yeah.
plastic right now.
They're
Gorgeous.
it's a good table grape too. So if you're doing like a charcuterie board with meats and cheeses and olives, I mean, you're
Yes.
winning at life when you've got your grapes, your olives, you know, some of your beef that's on that board. It's like,
gosh, you are
you're
winning
winning.
in life. Oh man,
You're winning.
And cheese is okay because it's fermented,
that's right.
so we know.
That's right. Gotta have the good moldy
Yes,
cheese
the
too.
good moldy cheeses. I'm gonna
Well,
close it
as
out
far
for
as
you.
the farm will ship anywhere nationwide.
Okay.
So we can do anywhere in the continental United States. I only actually work for the farm about 1 to 2 days a week. So my company is called Permaculture FX,
Just
but I
did?
do work here.
I love that.
yeah.
So Permaculture FX.
Yep.
That's your company.
Yep.
Okay. Yes.
And
well,
then
we're
a natural
definitely
farm,
gonna
but he'll ship anywhere. You know.
He ships anywhere.
Yep. In the
Okay.
continental U.S.
So you guys heard it. We're gonna say goodbye for now, but if you want to get any of these amazing plants, and please do yourself that favor, get a hold of A Natural Farm. They are in Howey-in-the-Hills, Florida, and they will ship anywhere to you. We'll see you guys next time on Native Eats. Thank you, Chris.
Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome.
Jaboticaba. This is what I came for. This tree and this fruit, and there happen to be only 3 ripe fruits left that Chris found us. So he's amazing, and so is the universe. Let's try it. Never tried one before and obsessed with
Don't
it.
eat it yet. Don't eat it yet. Weird, but do you want to hold these seeds too?
Okay, Allie,
Yes,
take
I
a
will
picture.
hold your seeds.
Jaboticaba.
Take a picture of it, Allie.
Okay,
With
okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay, Allie's gonna take a picture.
Jaboticaba.
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 Is that more
The
good?
kids
More
call
of
it the job of
a,
the hunt.
get more around it, like not so close, like more like,
I like our hands
yeah,
together.
like that.
That's
That's
so
it's
cute.
a,